Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive.
Hmm.
This time, we're going to get into something that's all around us, really all the time,
Yeah.
and its function in product design.
hmm
Now, have you ever thought about why you like certain products more
Right.
than others?
Absolutely.
And there's something about them that just works.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably because the designer has considered
Yeah.
how that product is intended to be used.
Yeah. And it's really interesting when you dig into this because function,
Okay.
it goes beyond just the basic purpose of
Yeah.
a product.
I like it.
So it's not just about, okay, does this, does this stapler staple things? It's
Yes.
about understanding the user's needs, the desires. Okay.
Yeah.
Even sometimes the aspirations.
Aspirations.
Yeah.
So you mean like there's an emotional connection
Yeah, exactly.
to function as well.
It's not just
Yeah,
about it
yeah.
working. It's about how it makes you feel when you use it.
So it's not just that it works, it's that it works well.
Yeah.
It even
You
delights
feel-
you.
Delights you. Yeah, absolutely.
Really? I am intrigued.
Yeah.
I'm totally on board.
Okay.
How do we break this down?
Well, a really helpful way to think about function
Okay.
is to actually break it down into two main types.
Okay.
You have primary and secondary.
Primary and secondary functions.
I like this already.
Yeah.
I like where this is going.
All right, so let's start with primary.
Okay, let's do it.
Primary function is basically the core reason why a product exists.
All right.
It's the main event.
It's like the
It's the problem that it's trying to solve.
raison d'etre.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, so like a very basic example of this would be like a chair.
Yeah, think of a chair.
Okay.
Like the primary function of a chair is to provide a place to sit.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so then how would you define
Okay.
secondary function?
So secondary functions are like the bonus features.
Okay.
They're the added value.
That really enhance the primary function and they make the product more appealing or versatile.
Okay, so let's go back to the chair.
Okay.
What would be a secondary function?
Okay, so imagine a chair that also has like storage built into the base.
Oh,
Right.
I've seen those.
That's a secondary function.
Good.
It's providing extra practicality
Gotcha.
and convenience,
Okay.
but it's still a chair.
Right, it's still fulfilling that primary function.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's giving you that little bit extra.
Yeah, and maybe that's the reason.
And that might be
I would pick that chair.
exactly. That might be what makes you choose that chair over another chair that
Yeah.
doesn't have storage.
It's like 2 for 1.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So does it always have to be about practicality?
That's a good question. And no, not necessarily.
Okay.
They can appeal to all sorts of different user needs and
Wow.
desires.
Interesting.
Sometimes it's aesthetics.
Right.
Sometimes it's about convenience. And sometimes it's even about like tapping into a certain lifestyle
Mm.
or identity.
Okay.
So it can get pretty deep.
Wow, I'm already thinking about like all the purchases I've made
Right.
and why I'm drawn to certain things over others.
Yeah.
And I never really like stopped to think about
Right.
why that is.
And it is interesting
what
how
it
those
is.
secondary functions just kind of like they work on us
Yeah.
in the background.
Subconsciously almost.
Subconsciously, yeah.
Wow. Right.
So for example, let's take a laptop.
Okay.
The primary function of a laptop is computing,
Obviously.
right? But think about all the other things that you do with a laptop.
Yeah.
You probably stream movies,
Oh, yeah.
video chat.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you use it as like a portable workstation at a coffee shop.
Oh, my gosh. I do that all the time.
Right. So all of those are secondary functions that
Okay.
enhance that core purpose
Wow.
and make it more appealing to a wider range of users.
I am so guilty of it. My laptop is like,
It's an extension of me.
absolutely. For a lot of people, it is.
I use it for work. I use it for entertainment.
Mm,
I use it for staying connected.
mm,
It really does do it all.
yeah.
So I'm starting to see now how design,
Yeah.
it's not just about meeting those basic needs.
Mm,
It's about really understanding how people are going to use it
yeah.
in their daily lives.
Absolutely. And it's often these secondary functions
Okay.
that are what differentiate one product
Mm.
from another
Okay.
in a really crowded marketplace.
Okay, so now I'm like seeing the world through function-colored glasses.
I love it.
But I want to go beyond laptops now.
Okay.
What are some other products
Sure.
where we can really see this concept in play?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we're back. And I am still thinking about all this stuff about primary and secondary functions.
It's fascinating.
It's so interesting, like how much goes into
Yeah.
the simplest objects that we use every day. Yeah, and it's funny because good design kind of like
Yeah.
goes unnoticed most of the time because it just works so well.
It blends in.
It just blends
And
in.
now that we've talked about it, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh,
You start to see it everywhere.
it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so our source material here is full of great examples.
Absolutely.
So what else can we pull out here about how designers
Yeah.
use this concept of function
Yeah.
to make these really cool products?
Let's think about like an electric kettle.
Okay.
Like it's super simple.
Yeah.
At its core, it boils water.
Boils water. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
But a lot of kettles these days come with all these different features
Oh, really?
that kind of elevate that whole
I'm intrigued.
tea-making experience.
Maybe there's more to a kettle than just heating up the water.
Oh, there is so much more.
Okay, tell me.
Okay, so like think about a kettle with temperature control settings.
Okay.
So that's a secondary function. Okay.
That lets you pick like the perfect temperature.
So you're telling me there's like a perfect temperature
Yeah.
for different kinds of tea?
Absolutely.
I just thought it was like as hot as possible.
No. So like delicate green teas,
Uh-huh.
they actually need a lower temperature
Wow.
than like a more robust black tea.
I had no idea. There's
Yeah.
like a science to water temperature in tea.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that's one. And then you have the keep warm function,
oh
which is
yeah.
another secondary function
Yeah.
that just makes sure that your water stays
That's so
at
convenient.
the perfect temperature.
Especially if you're making
Yes, no.
multiple cups.
Yeah, for multiple cups.
So it's all about like
It's all
making it a better experience.
Yeah, enhancing that user experience
Right.
and catering to like specific needs.
Oh my gosh. I'm seeing how even these little things
Yeah,
can make a big difference in how
Alright.
we use a product.
absolutely. And what about like a bicycle?
Okay, a bicycle. Yeah. So the primary function,
Transportation.
transportation, obviously.
Yeah.
But over time,
Mhm.
bicycles have evolved
Yeah.
to incorporate
Very
so
good.
many different secondary functions.
Well, I mean, there's the fitness aspect.
Exactly.
Like it's a great workout.
Yeah, and increasingly, like, bikes are seen as a way to, like, commute
Yeah.
sustainably.
Yeah, reduce your environmental impact.
Exactly. And then you have things like baskets and panniers
Oh, yeah.
that you can add on.
Yeah.
And those make it more practical
Right.
so you can carry groceries, you know?
Like your bags and stuff.
Yeah, maybe even a pet.
Yeah, so it's like a bicycle is not just transportation. It's like a
Yes.
lifestyle choice.
It's lifestyle
It's
choice.
a fitness tool.
Yeah.
It's even like a statement about your values.
It can be a statement about your values.
It's so interesting how a product's function
Yeah.
can kind of change
Yeah.
and evolve over time.
Yeah, and it's a great example of how design is influenced by like cultural trends and societal shifts.
Right.
So speaking of evolving needs,
Okay.
let's talk about a desk lamp.
Oh, the desk lamp.
Yeah.
The trusty desk lamp.
Yeah, keeps your workspace illuminated.
I can't imagine working without one,
Right.
but I don't really think about them much.
Well, beyond providing light,
Yeah.
most desk lamps today have all these different features
Oh, really?
that make them like really easy to use
Okay.
and more comfortable.
Like what?
So like adjustable brightness levels.
Oh, yeah.
That's a secondary function
Okay.
that allows you to customize the lighting.
Right.
So if you're reading, if you're
Yeah.
working on a computer, if you're
Yeah.
just trying to create like a cozy ambiance,
Right.
you can adjust it.
And what about those ones where
Yeah.
you can bend the neck?
Oh, yeah,
Those are like a lifesaver.
totally. Those flexible necks.
Yeah, because you can like really direct the light.
Exactly. You can get the light right where you need it. Yeah. And some of them even have built-in USB charging ports.
Oh, yeah. I've seen those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we all need to keep our devices powered up.
Right.
So it's a good way to kind of like
It's so smart.
integrate technology and
Mhm.
address a common user need.
So even the humble desk lamp
Even the desk lamp.
is full of these thoughtful little
Yeah.
design elements
Absolutely.
that go beyond just that primary function.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get it now. I think
Good design is
all
good
about
service.
thinking ahead about what the user needs and
Yeah.
then like
Yeah.
finding these elegant ways to
Exactly.
solve those problems.
Yeah, to make our lives better.
Okay, let's keep going. What else?
Okay, let's go back to the kitchen and
I've-
talk about the microwave oven.
The microwave oven.
Yes.
Okay.
So beyond like heating
Right.
and cooking food
Right.
quickly,
Mm-hmm.
modern microwaves come with all sorts of secondary functions.
My microwave can do more than just reheat leftovers
Oh, yeah.
and make popcorn.
So much more.
Okay, tell me more.
Okay, so a lot of microwaves now have like defrost settings,
Okay, yeah, I use that.
which are super convenient
Yeah.
for those like last minute dinner plans.
Yes.
And then some have like preset cooking programs
Right.
for different dishes.
Really?
So it takes all the guesswork out of cooking.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But wait, there's more?
There's always more.
Okay.
So a lot of microwaves also have like a child lock
Oh, yeah.
for safety.
Yeah.
So little ones can't accidentally operate it.
Yeah, that's really important, actually, if
Absolutely.
you have young kids at home.
Especially if you have young children.
Yeah, that's a good.
That's a really important secondary function
It is.
because it shows that designers are thinking about not
Exact-
just the user's needs, but
Yeah.
also like their safety
Their safety
and well-being.
and well-being.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, let's do one more.
Okay, what about the backpack?
The backpack.
Yeah.
Okay, so the backpack is like,
It's like the essential.
it's a thing that carries all of our stuff.
It carries all your stuff.
I have my laptop in there, my snacks for when they get hungry, my
Uh-huh.
books, everything.
It's like your mobile command center.
Yeah.
It is. So the primary function, of course, is carrying items. But as you were saying, backpacks have really evolved
Yeah.
to accommodate like
Yeah.
our modern lifestyles.
Yeah, most of them have like a laptop compartment now.
Exactly. They have a laptop compartment. A
Yeah.
lot of them have water bottle holders.
Oh, yeah, to stay hydrated.
Yeah, you gotta stay hydrated.
Yeah.
And then a lot of them have like ergonomic designs.
Right.
So they're more comfortable to carry,
Especially if you're carrying a lot of stuff.
especially if it's heavy.
Yeah.
So those are all secondary functions
Yeah.
that address both practicality
Yeah.
and like user well-being.
So it's like a backpack isn't just a bag.
Yeah.
It's like a whole system
It's a system.
organizing and carrying all your stuff.
Yeah, for making sure that you have everything you need
Yeah.
when you're on the go.
It's like they really thought about it.
And it's another example of how like
Right.
design is really that blend
Mhm.
of form and function.
Right.
So it's aesthetically pleasing,
That does look good.
but it's also incredibly practical
Right.
for everyday use.
I am loving all these examples.
Ah,
It's like we're like pulling back the layers
yeah.
on these everyday objects.
I love that analogy, peeling back the layers.
And like discovering all these
yeah, and finding all these
hidden secrets.
hidden design secrets.
Like-
That's great.
I think we should probably take a quick break here.
Okay.
We'll be back to wrap up our deep dive
That's good.
into the world of function and product design. Okay, so we are back. And my mind is officially blown.
Yeah.
I am seeing the world in a whole new way.
It changes how you look at things.
It really does. Like, I never thought I would be so fascinated by
Yeah.
kettles and backpacks.
Yeah.
It's funny how that happens.
But it's true.
Yeah. But it is amazing how much we just kind of take for granted, right?
Yeah, we do.
Like good design, it just blends into our lives.
Yeah.
But once you actually start to
Right.
pay attention to those principles at work,
Uh-huh.
you really gain a whole new appreciation
Yeah.
for the thought
Yeah.
and intention
Right.
that goes into creating these everyday objects.
I totally agree. Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
what's like the big takeaway here?
The big takeaway.
Yeah, like what do we want our listeners to
Yeah.
remember?
I think the biggest thing is realizing that every product,
Mm-hmm.
no matter how simple or how complex,
Okay.
is designed with both
Right.
primary and secondary functions in mind.
Yes.
So it's not just about what a product does,
Uh-huh.
it's about how it enhances our lives,
Right.
how it solves our problems, and maybe even, brings us a little bit of joy along the way.
I like that.
So we've become like these design detectives,
I love that.
uncovering all the
That's
hidden
so
layers
true.
of everyday objects.
The hidden meanings.
And it also makes me realize, like, as consumers,
Right.
when we understand this,
Mm-hmm.
it can help us make better choices.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like when you start thinking about primary and secondary functions, you start to see which products really align
Sure.
with your needs and values. So it's
Yeah.
about becoming like a more conscious consumer.
I like that.
Yeah. Appreciating the design decisions
Yeah.
that shape the things that we choose to
Right.
bring into our lives.
Okay, so before we say goodbye,
Yeah.
what's one last question
One last question.
that we can leave our listeners with?
Okay, how about this?
Okay.
Think about a product that you use every day,
Okay.
something that you interact with on a regular basis.
All right.
It could be your phone,
Yeah.
your coffee mug,
Okay.
your favorite pair of shoes, anything really.
Right.
Now think about
Yeah.
what are its less obvious functions?
Okay.
What are those secondary functions that
Mhm.
maybe you haven't noticed before?
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a great question.
It's a fun little mental exercise,
Yeah.
and you might be surprised by
Mhm.
what you discover.
I think you're right.
You might even find a new appreciation
Yeah.
for the designers who
Yeah.
created those products.
Well, I think that's a perfect note to end on.
Yeah.
We've reached the end of our deep dive
Yeah.
into the world of function and product design.
It's been a journey.
It really has, and I hope everyone out there listening
Yeah.
has enjoyed it as much as we have.
I hope so too.
Keep those design detective skills sharp,
Yes.
and we will see you next time for another deep dive.